Hi everyone and welcome to Gabor's Place. This is Gabor's Place. I'm Gabor, my place. Welcome to my place. If you've been listening to a podcast, which you should, and if you don't, there's links below. I've been talking about this studio, kind of home studio thing for quite a long time, and it's sort of starting to kind of work and happen and be here. So this is it. This is my little home studio. And I'm going to start doing a few videos from here. Let us know in the comments below whether you like it or not. And please make sure to subscribe to this as well and check out all the social media and all that stuff. So on the podcast as well, I've mentioned in the past plugins. So pretty much when I moved into here, into this kind of space, this is kind of converted shed, I had all my gear in boxes and stuff, moving it out of the house, and you can't really see, but here there's two kind of rack cases, and they're full of drawers, full of pedals, and that's going to eventually get hooked up. I've been talking about that forever as well. But while I was moving and I had a lot of my stuff in boxes, I kind of got annoyed of trying to pull things out as I was recording things and working on stuff, and I started using a lot of plugins, and two plugins I used for a long time and I really liked were Decapitator and Echo Boy by Soundtoys, and I sort of mid last year got the whole Soundtoys 5 sort of plugin bundle thing, and one of the things that comes with it is a thing called Effect Rack, and that's what I wanted to look at today. So I'm using my trusty, as always, Red Jazzmaster that if you watch our other videos, I always use. It's going into a Fender Hot Rod DeVille 4x10. The speakers are disconnected, and instead of the speakers, I've got the Two Notes Torpedo Live, which has currently got the Rev 4x12 open back cabinet, which I quite like actually. I like the open back side of it. Going straight into Logic, which is there, and it sounds suchly. Alright, effects rack. So it looks like this. Basically, it's an effects rack. That's kind of all in a title. And on the right here, you have all the racks, and you can just take these racks and you can say, okay, I want some Decapitator, and put Decapitator on here, and you turn the drive up and turn the output level down. And you got kind of like plug it into a console with like a gain stage type thing. It's just a cool gain stage sort of thing. But what I was thinking of looking at is the presets, which are up here. So you've got a whole bunch of presets, and just look at a couple of presets for each one of these things. There's one specifically for guitar, but I always found the ones that are not made for guitar, I found them quite interesting on the guitar, so I'll just go through a few. So, for example, you have beautiful sounds such as, for example, Ambient Delay chain, which is a dual primal tap, which is a dual digital delay, which currently set one delay set to 86.5 BPM, the other one to 51.4, and they're running into Echo Boy, which is kind of an analog tape delay emulation, which is set to 120 BPM. Should also mention up the top here, you have global parameters. So you have global tempo, which you can turn on and off, so you can have all the effects running at currently set 120 BPM. Primal Tap isn't, but Echo Boy is. You also have a wet and dry mix, which currently is sort of set to, just a little bit wet, mostly dry. You have a recycle function, which is kind of like a loop kind of thing, where you loop back into itself. You've got input and output level and all that sort of stuff. So that's kind of global settings, and then you have the individual settings. And it currently sounds like this. It's three delays really. Two delays that run, I guess, parallel, running into another delay. Nice delays, basically. Let's look at some other guitar stuff. What about, I don't know, for something not delay, octave down, double and wah. So with this, you've got a crystallizer and you've got a filter-free crystallizer. It calls it a granular echo synthesizer, but you can just have, like in this case, just an octave down. And Filter Freak is basically something where you can set it to be like an envelope filter, you can set it to be a step type sequencer kind of thing, you can set it to all these different things, and it sounds like this. This funky octave down. The tracking is great. I think the tracking is really cool. Let's see what else is there. So let's move away from the guitar. Let's go to something like basics. So for example, let's look at, I don't know, Full Telephone. So it's the CQ, which is kind of like an EQ, so you can set it, in this case I guess it's meant to sound like it's through a telephone, like a lo-fi kind of. Okay, let's try another one from basics. Let's try one down the bottom. What about Thick Transmitter? So that gets very loud. Thick Transmitter, you've got Devil-Lock, which is kind of like they call it an audio level destroyer. It's sort of a compressor kind of preamp kind of thing. So it's compressor, but it's got a lot of gain in it as well. And EQ, so it's mainly meant for drums, but in this case it gives a lot of drive. And you've got the Decapitator again, which is a gain stage, and Echo Boy, which is the analog delay. But let's say you don't want the Devil-Lock on, you can turn the Devil-Lock off. Or you want the Devil-Lock on and the Decapitator off. Or you want the delay first running into all this stuff. You can change your order, you can do whatever you want with it. It's pretty cool. Okay, let's try something different. Let's go chorus. I don't know, CE1 Double Boy. If I play it right. Sort of doubled with a really fast slapback delay. Let's try one more chorus. I don't know, deep swimming chorus. Okay, let's move on. What about delays? Let's try filtered diffused delay. Ooh, so we've got a delay and then two delays and a filter in between. And I think if you get a chance, listen to this with headphones on or through like speakers, stereo speakers, because the stereo effects are really quite good. So this is sort of a filter pan that goes left to right. There's some really interesting effects. Try one more delay. What about refacing retro delay? So it's a stereo delay. Again, you've got two. You've got delay A and delay B, kind of running separately, and you've got a phase mistress, which is kind of like a modulation, phase shifter, lots of different things, and it's a sort of a lo-fi delay. Let's try something else. What about filters? Let's go to filters. Bubble glide. That sounds interesting. So yeah, you've got 1, 2 filter freaks, to filters running in separate kind of directions and doing different things. So it gives you kind of like that, almost like a sequence with a tremulator. So tremulator is a tremolo, but you can also set it to be like it has different rhythm patterns that you can set yourself. You can go quite deep into it, and I'm not going to get into any of the effects, which, by the way, if you do want me to go into separate effects units a bit more deeper, just write in the comments, let us know. Or you can email us at superfunawesomehappytime@gmail.com. Send us an email, or on Facebook, send us a message or something like that. And yeah, if you want us to go more in depth into certain things. Let's try one more filter. What about Synth Labs? That always sounds good. Now with this as well, so you've got tons of stuff. So you've got a crystallizer, 2 filter freaks, again running, the filters kind of go independently from each other, 2 different filters. You've got a tremulator and an echo boy at the end. All right, let's move on from filters, spaces. What about Boomy Roomy? Nice sort of room reverb, a boomy room reverb. It's all a name again. What about, let's try, I don't know, what's one from here? What sounds interesting? Starlight, I don't know. Nice sort of lush delay reverb kind of thing. Okay, move on. Modulation. Let's go. What about heavy cuts? So it's got a certain rhythm that the tremulator has a certain kind of rhythm pattern in it. Modulation, what about, let's try, what's another one in here? Scooby-Doo phaser. This is like a spooky phaser. Just a nice, very thick phaser. Drums. Now, there's some interesting stuff on here actually. Ghost ramp is pretty cool. So almost like a reverse, gated reverse reverb. Let's try one more from the drums. What about Submarine? Oh no, let's try Psycho Man drums. Okay, bass, bottom fuzz. It's really sort of filtered, and that's all done with just a delay, so it uses the saturate, because there's a saturation part to the delay. Because Echo Boy, so it emulates a tape delay, and a lot of tape delays were used just for the preamp back in the days as well. So you get the drive just from that, and then it sort of filters. You can filter things out of it. See, that sort of stuff. I love the sound of that sort of stuff, and that's things you don't necessarily get out of guitar pedals, or you wouldn't a lot of times think about this sort of stuff in a recording situation. Whereas here, with this sort of stuff, you just dial up the presets, and it can make things interesting. Larry G. Thunder Funk. Now, let's get some Larry Graham on. That's not Larry Graham, but... okay, move on. We went to guitar vocals. Let's try vocals and then sound design and then call it a day. What about for vocals? Dirt Echo. So again, Echo Boy I think is killer. Echo Boy. So with that now, the echo is sort of saturated and gives you. It's a really cool delay plugin. Let's do one more from here. What about Studio Tape Pong? So again, listen to it with headphones because it's a cool stereo image that you've got going here. in sound design, let's try one last one. This is sort of the quirkiest of them all. What about Cave of Wonders? So with this one, for example, you've got the mix, global mix isn't completely wet, so there's no dry signal, and then you've got a recycle thing happening as well, where it sort of feeds back into itself. Let's try one more of the sound design. Ooh, there's a couple of interesting. What about Transmutator? Okie dokie. So you don't have to do anything with that. It just does itself. What about, let's try a couple more, because these are, I find these are the cool ones. Radio Bad Connection, that sort of lo-fi thing again. Another very noisy one. Let's try some of these, because I find these are the cool ones. Under the Lava. So heavily compressed, can't really probably hear it. You can feel it more than you can hear it. And let's do one more sound design and then call it a day. What about Trip Forward Flashback? Cool. So it's like a delay and then it kind of rewinds itself. And yeah, well, there's tons of great sounds. I really like it. I really enjoy it as a plugin thing. I got lots out of it. I find it makes me approach things differently when I'm recording. If I'm wanting to add something else, if I want to put more guitar overdubs over it, or if something is missing and I want something that is maybe, I want to try something a little bit more unusual. This is sort of, to me, this sort of stuff, effects like this, bring out sort of different parts of you. And I think it's great. I really, really like it. So that's a Soundtoys Effect Rack. Let me know if you like this video or not. Let me know if you want me to do more videos from Gabor's place, which is my place. I was thinking of maybe doing some basic sort of guitar lesson stuff as well, looking at plugins, looking at some recording stuff. Yeah, let us know in the comments whether you want more videos like this or not. Also, if you want me to go more in depth into each of these or any particular ones of these plugins, because they're all really, really good. I think they're excellent. Really good quality, not all that expensive, not hugely CPU intensive either. I mean, I've just got an iMac here and it seems to be holding up pretty good if I have that on a few tracks, on quite a few tracks actually. Yeah, so let me know what you think. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. There'll be more videos with, with me and Alex still coming up, but we thought just Alex is doing a lot, I'm doing a lot. He's actually sick this week, so we were going to do videos today, but I thought instead of that, I'll finally, been talking about it for ages, that I'm going to do videos here, and so I actually do it. And I did it, and yeah, let me know, subscribe to the channel, check out the podcast, all the social media stuff below, and see you next time. Bye-bye.